True Crime Never Sleeps podcast. I am your host, Larry Lease. Today on Cold Case Friday, we dive into the metro murder of Laetitia Toureaux. But first, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Audible, for sponsoring this episode. Audible is a subscription service that allows you to buy audiobooks that you can listen to from anywhere. Audible allows you to choose from a gigantic array of audiobooks narrated by amazing narrators. Right now, I'm listening to The Dead Zone by Stephen King, narrated by Oscar-winning actor James Franco. It's the chilling story of a high school teacher who falls into a coma and wakes up with psychic abilities. In all seriousness, audiobooks are great for when you're alone and maybe want to stop with the YouTube watching. But let me ask you this. Do you want a free audiobook? Of course you do. I mean, who doesn't love free stuff? Go to audibletrial.com/Larry21. You can get a free audiobook of your choice. And now on to today's topic. The mystery of the metro murder. I think every major city has a famous unsolved crime, a case that police just couldn't crack. From the Black Dahlia in LA to Jack the Ripper in London. There's something about an unsolved murder that can capture the intrigue and fascination of Metropolis. Paris is no different. On May 16th, 1937, a well-dressed and respectable young woman named Laetitia Toureaux boarded a first-class metro carriage at Port Charenton Station on the Line 8. Though the rest of the train was busy, she was the only passenger traveling in first class. The train pulled away from the platform at 1827 and arrived at the next station, Port Douai, less than 2 minutes later. When the doors opened, passengers boarding the train discovered Toureaux dying, a knife in her neck and a pool of blood around her seat. She died minutes later without speaking a word. Nobody saw the murder. Initial reports on the murder focused on her respectable life. Widow to a successful French industrialist, she worked in a glue factory during the day and held down a second job at a music hall in the evenings. The press were fascinated by the mystery, and the police were stumped. Before long, however, the tide began to turn as more details of her life emerged. She was Italian and frequented nightclubs where she was known to acquaintances as Yolanda, not Laetitia. Suspicions raised further when it was discovered that the young murder victim had a third job, working in surveillance and as a courier for a private detective agency. Soon, investigations revealed that she was also working for a fourth employer, the far-right extremist group. I'm not even going to be able to pronounce this right. La Cagula. It was a group of dangerous extremists. They were extreme nationalists, anti-communist, and anti-Semitic. And it seemed that the complications ran even deeper for her. She was working within the group as a double agent, collecting information on their activities and reporting back to Italian secret services. And according to some sources, the French police. It was supposed that she was murdered by the group when they uncovered her betrayals. They were a powerful group. The primary aim was to overthrow the left-wing French government. It was created and supported by some of Paris's wealthiest and most influential citizens, including the founder of cosmetics company L'Oreal, Eugene Schuler. Nobody was ever charged with the murder of Laetitia Toureaux. No witnesses ever came forward. To this day, it is referred to as a perfect crime. Some members of the group were tried and imprisoned in 1948 for their 1936 crime spree, but the details of this particular crime were never ironed out. There is much to read about her and about the group. Books have been written, and the original police report is 500 pages long. The story took an unusual twist in 1962 when police received a 5-page letter that started with the words, "I am the murderer of Laetitia Toureaux." The case was reopened, but again, nobody was charged. A fascinating mystery for sure, but I always feel a bit sad when I think of her, an immigrant in Paris whose husband had died, working 4 jobs that put her in an incredibly dangerous position. What courage it must have taken to stand up against the likes of the Schuler and his band of fascists. What a risky and frightening short life she lived. She is buried with her mother in the cemetery just outside Paris. Her headstone names her as Yolande Toureaux. Leave a comment in the comment section below on how you think she was killed. Do you think it was the group? Do you think it was somebody with power? Let us know. And of course, if you want to support the show, you can buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/TCNS. Your support helps the channel grow, upgrade our equipment, create new shows, bring in new hosts, and be able to pay them. We thank you so much for watching and listening. We will see you next time.